Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel, Jesus and Coffee Conversations. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is Monday, June. I gotta look at this calendar, June 13th. Y'all, I am back. For those of you who are new, and probably even if you aren't new, I'm just gonna put this disclaimer out there. Y'all, I've been away for a while. So anytime that I am away for a while, meaning I'm not uploading videos, I'm not doing podcasts, life is happening. So I'm enjoying life. I'm doing things. I'm busy, y'all. So I just come back on here whenever I get the time to do so. Because a lot of you already know that YouTube is not my career. This is not what I do full time. But it's summer, so I should hopefully be able to create and upload more videos for you guys. So I just have to make the time to do so. But yeah, I'm back. I will say follow me on Instagram, because even if I'm not uploading videos or I'm not doing podcasts, I am uploading content on Instagram, not necessarily videos, but you do hear from me on Instagram on a more consistent basis. So if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you go ahead and you do so. It's JesusCoffee_conversations, okay? And then I also let people know there, like, that life is happening. I'm not going to be able to upload new content, or sometimes I will let you know when I have new content coming. So if you want to, find out what's going on with me and stuff, just make sure you follow me there, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get into the video. So I am talking about women, Christian women, saying that they want a Boaz, but they are not a Ruth, okay? Because you have a lot of women, Lord, where's my Boaz? I want my Boaz, I'm ready for my Boaz, all this stuff. And they are the complete opposite of a Ruth, okay? They think that they can raise hellfire and get a good, godly man, okay? And that is just not how it works, right? If you're saying that you want a Boaz, or you want, I don't know who else they be hollering out they want in the Bible, but a lot of women say they want a Boaz. So if you want a Boaz or a good, godly man, then you need to be a Ruth, or a good, godly woman, right? But a lot of women don't want to hear that. So we're going to talk about it, y'all. So Boaz, when we talk about him, he was a godly man. He was a man of integrity. He was a man with good character. He was a man of honor, and he saw those same qualities in Ruth. So a lot of times when men are saying that they want a good, godly man, let's not forget that men also are looking for certain characteristics and things in women, okay? Because it's so easy for women to say, well, I want this. They got their checklist or whatever, but they forget that a man also might have a checklist, and he's looking and checking off the list of what he wants in a woman. So, it kind of works both ways. But like I said, this is about women who are not a Ruth. So you have women that, think they can just dress however they want to dress. They just carry themselves, with no class, no respect. They are very disrespectful towards men. Like they might curse a man out. They have not healed. So they're coming, with all this baggage and all this drama and all this trauma, and just, expect for a man to put up with that. And that was not the kind of woman that Ruth was. So Ruth was a woman who had integrity as well. And she, she honored her mother-in-law. And she, she had really good qualities about her. She carried herself well. And so Boaz, was attracted to not only her, but her character. So you can have somebody who looks really, really good on the outside, but once you get to know them, they open their mouth, they start talking, you realize they start to become unattractive because of the way they carry themselves, the way they talk. Sometimes it could be the way they dress. So you have women that don't think about those kinds of things. And so they're saying, well, I want a Boaz, I want a good, godly man, but they're not portraying themselves as a good, godly woman, okay? So you can't be, in the club half naked talking about you want a Boaz. Boaz is not in the club. You can't be, in the club, half naked, talking about you want a good Christian man. He's not in the club. Now, you might find a lukewarm Christian man in the club, or you might find a carnal man in the club, but you're not going to find a man that is truly living for God and is led by his spirit. You're not going to find him in the club. Okay? So you have to figure out, where are the places, where are you going? Where are you hanging out? Who are you hanging out with, right? And a lot of times, if we're honest, when women say they want a Boaz, Boaz was a wealthy man. Okay, Boaz had money. He had, substance. So a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, when a woman is saying she wants a Boaz, what she's saying is she wants a man with money. Okay? Because in today's society, people are not dating for love. They're not getting married for love. They're not, getting in relationships and stuff for love. They're in it for, what can you do for me? Right? Like, society is just me, 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 me. Money, 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 money. And it's hard to find a man or a woman who is genuinely interested in you for you. A lot of people, women especially, want men that have money, because in their minds they think that money is just going to solve everything. Yeah, you might not have to worry about bills, but money does not solve everything, because you can have a man that makes 6 figures, he could be a millionaire, but he does not treat you well. He can have all this money, your bills are paid, you don't have to be stressed out about that, but you're still miserable because maybe he works all the time. Or maybe he just does not make time for you. Or maybe he's a cheater. Or, he, I don't know, what's the other stuff? Like, he could be abusive. So you have to think about, okay, if you get stuck on the money, yeah, okay, you can have this man that has all this money, but you are forgetting, you didn't even pay any attention to, like, his qualities. You didn't even listen to the Holy Spirit say, with that red flag going off, like, this not it. He's saying he's a Christian, but he really don't have a relationship with me, and you ignore all the red flags because he has money, right? So in your mind, you thought, oh, that's my Boaz, right? I got a Boaz because he has money. But you need to look at his character. That is the important thing. What is this man's character? And then, okay, if you do get a really good man that is genuinely saved, and he's done the work, he's healed, he worked on all his trauma and, all that stuff. Now, what are you bringing to the table? And I'm not necessarily saying financially, but I'm saying, what character are you bringing to the table? Are you still hurt and wounded from previous relationships? And so you're bringing all of that into this new relationship. And so now you don't trust him because of what Peter, Paul, James, all them did in the past. And he has nothing to do with that. But you're bringing all that into this relationship, right? And a lot of men, when they get in relationships, they want peace, right? They don't want somebody that's going to be nagging them all the time. They don't want somebody that's going to be trying to start an argument and fighting and all that stuff all the time. Are you going to have disagreements? Absolutely. That's life. That's relationships. It's two people, trying to figure each other out. You're going to have disagreements, and you're going to have, those bumps in the road. But how do you handle those times? Like, are you going to cuss him out every time something happens? Are you going to be throwing things and breaking stuff and just acting crazy every time a bump in the road comes along? Or can you handle those times with grace? You might be upset, and you can let him know you're upset, but how are you letting him know that you're upset? Because if you get real disrespectful, popping off at the mouth, that is a huge turnoff. No man wants to deal with a woman that is popping off at the mouth and cussing them out and calling them out their name and just acting, like another dude, right? Because you have women out here that be acting like another dude. No dude wants to be in a relationship with another dude unless he's into men, okay? So when you are saying you want a Boaz or a good godly man, ladies, you need to check yourself and ask yourself, the things that I want in this man, am I the same thing? Am I bringing these same qualities and things to the table? Because if you're not, then you're not going to attract the kind of man that you're trying to get. So as the saying goes, sometimes people say opposites attract, but then you also attract people that are just like you. So if you're unhealed and you're broken, more than likely you are attracting unhealed and broken people. So it's not until you put in the work and work on yourself and you start to become who you want to attract, then you begin to attract those people. Okay, so you cannot be in the club or in the streets talking about you want a Boaz. He's not there. So you need to get yourself together and stop, hollering out that you want this man when you are the complete opposite of that man. Okay? So Ruth was ready for her Boaz. And also Ruth went through a lot before she met and got Boaz. She went through, heartbreak. Her husband had died. And then, her family, she was like, well, she wasn't going to go back to her family. She wanted to stay with her mother-in-law. So Ruth went through a tough time before she met Boaz. So you also have to ask yourself, because you keep talking about you want a Boaz, but are you willing to go through the things that Ruth went through to get a Boaz? Because a lot of times people say they want this or they want that, and that's why it's so important not to be jealous of other people and their relationships, because you do not know the hell they had to get through to get where they are today. So you can look at people and call them power couples or whatever because they got it going on now, but you didn't see the struggle. You didn't see everything that they went through. You didn't see all the heartbreak and the hard nights and crying themselves to sleep and like all that stuff. You didn't see any of that. All you see is the end result. So it's important that you are not always looking at people, ooh, I wish I had that, or, I wish my husband looked like this, or I wish my wife would do stuff like that. You do not know what these people went through to get what they got. So you need to worry about your own grass, water your grass, take care of it, and then it'll grow nice and green like the people you think over here got real green grass. And I think I did a video about that a while ago where, their grass looks good, but it could be fake. So at least your grass is real, and if you take good care of it, then your grass is going to grow nice, thick, and be a pretty green. But you cannot do that if you're so busy being in everybody else's business trying to have their life. You cannot have your cake and eat it, so you need to focus on yourself and make sure that yourself is good before you be trying to be like all these other people over here. Okay? So for you women talking about you want a good man, or you want a Boaz, or you want this or you want that, you need to check yourself and make sure that you are ready for all of that. I think people now talk about high value this and high value that. You need to make sure that you are a high value person. And it does not always necessarily have to mean money. I think that's where so many people miss it, is they get so focused on the money, and the money is just the tip of the iceberg. You need to check your attitude, you need to check your character, you need to make sure that you are somebody worth being married to. Because a lot of times, people are not worth being married to because they bring a lot of drama and trauma into the relationship. And even in Proverbs, the Bible says that, it's better to be on the rooftop than in a house with a woman that argues and fights all the time. You better off living on the roof than being in a house with her. And I did a video, this was a couple of years ago, about, being a wise and a foolish woman. Like the Proverbs 31 woman, she was not cussing her husband out. She was taking care of business. She ran her household and her businesses and still took care of her man. So when you are talking about you want to be, a Ruth, or you are a Ruth, or an Esther, or a Proverbs 31 woman, and, all this stuff, are you really? Because it sounds good and it looks good to put on your Facebook. But are you truly a Proverbs 31 woman? Have you truly studied her and her character? You talking about you a Ruth. Have you really studied her and her character? You talking about an Esther. Have you studied her and her character? These women were not popping off at the mouth. These women were not acting the fool. These women were not walking around half naked. These women were not out here sleeping around with whoever. They were women with integrity. They carried themselves well. They were modest. And I'm not saying you got to be covered all up like a nun, but you also don't need to have your business all out there either. So I know that's a hard topic for a lot of women too, is a dress code. They think that, well, if you're modest, they hear that and then they think, okay, well, now I got to be covered up like a nut. No, you don't. You can still look cute and, be sexy, but classy, right? You don't have to have your breasts and all this other stuff hanging all out, because then you're going to attract the wrong kind of attention. And trust me, it's not going to be from no Boaz. So stop trying to get men with your body and start getting men with who you are, your character. Because any hoe can go out here and get a man. So, and I don't like using those terms, but y'all know me, I'm blunt, I'm honest about it. So yeah, if you don't want certain men, then you need to check yourself. How am I dressing? How am I acting? How am I talking? Because you're attracting the wrong man for a reason. You're losing good men for a reason. So you need to pump the brakes on dating, and you need to do a hardcore check of yourself and see where you are missing it. And so, that's something I had to take a break, and I had to work on myself. I had to heal and, all that stuff, and I had to get myself together, because it's, people, we go from relationship to relationship to relationship, packing on all these issues and all this trauma, nobody's healing. And then, you get in relationships with people and they're good people, but you run them away because you have not healed. And you're bringing all this extra baggage and stuff into a relationship and making them deal with it. And nobody wants to deal with that. So you need to work on yourself before you be trying to get in a relationship with somebody else. And sometimes, yeah, you can get in a relationship with somebody and you guys work on the healing and, go on that journey together. But you're not going to find too many people that are willing to do that, especially high value people. They're not going to want to deal with the drama. Okay, especially if they already living their life of peace. Like I said, men want peace, ladies, and if you are not bringing peace, he's not going to want to be with you. Okay, because he does not want to have to go to work and have to fight people at work and fight people in the world, and then have to come home and have a whole nother battle with you too. Like, he wants to be able to come home and have peace, and he can relax, and there's no drama and stuff going on. Okay. So anyway, y'all, it's a short video. I hope you guys got something out of it. So yeah, like I said at the beginning of the video, make sure you follow me on Instagram, where I consistently upload stuff for y'all. Jesus_Conversations. And I think that's it. Oh, and my podcast. Make sure you are listening to my podcast. It's Let's Talk, Jesus and Coffee Conversations. So you can go wherever you listen to podcasts for that. And I will see you all next time with a brand new video. Enjoy the rest of your day and have a great week. God bless.